The Italian Riviera is filled with unforgettable experiences. From a colorful fishing village to a trail with sweeping sea views, these 12 stops will change your standard vacation into an authentic journey. Liguria runs along Italy's northwest coast from the French border to La Spezia. Most coastal stops are easiest by train or ferry, not car, so planning transport makes all the difference. Let's begin our countdown right on the border, where Italy's Riviera adventure first comes to life. Before we start, hit subscribe and join our community of explorers getting practical travel guides on exceptional destinations around the world. At number 12, we arrive in Ventimiglia, the first Italian town after crossing from France. Ventimiglia's Friday market is pure energy. Picture rows of stalls piled with vibrant fruits, fresh cheeses, and handmade pastas. The air is filled with roasted coffee and salted meats, as vendors call out in rapid Italian. Leather bags, scarves, and ceramics tempt every shopper. The market is famous with both locals and visitors, so arriving early helps you find the best deals and avoid the crowds. Just a few kilometers away, the Hanbury Gardens offer the perfect contrast. Established in the 1800s, they showcase a surprising international plant mix, thriving thanks to Liguria's microclimate. At number 11, we have San Remo. The Corso Imperatrice feels like a walk through history, shaded by palm trees and lined with Belle Epoque villas that once drew Europe's elite. Elegant hotels with wrought iron balconies face out to the Ligurian Sea, and the promenade is at its best during golden hour, when the light makes for perfect photos and relaxed people watching. Not far from this modern elegance lies La Pigna, the old town of San Remo. Its twisting alleys and hidden courtyards lead you straight back to the city's medieval past. Visit in the early morning if you want to avoid the heat and see the lanes quiet and empty. San Remo is also inseparable from culture. The Festival della Canzone, held here since 1951, remains a defining anchor of Italian music and identity. At number 10, we have Dolceacqua and Apricale, two hill towns that feel worlds away from the Riviera's coast. Dolceacqua lies just inland near the French border. Its medieval Ponte Vecchio arches over the Nervia River, watched by the Doria Castle above. Claude Monet was captivated by this very view, painting the light and bridge during his stay. Crossing it today, you can picture the same scene that caught his eye before wandering trattorias serving local Rossise wine. A few kilometers further, Apricale rises on a hillside, a maze of stone lanes and honey-colored houses. Murals brighten its walls, weaving stories of folklore, while the Castello della Lucertola crowns the village with rotating art exhibitions. At number 9, we have Imperia, a coastal city where olive oil is at the core of daily life. Walking among the groves, the ancient, twisted trunks yield the prized Tagliasca olives that give the oil its mild, buttery flavor with a touch of nuttiness. The region's climate, with sunlit slopes and sea breezes, makes this one of Liguria's most distinctive tastes. Food here feels personal. Seek a hands-on pesto class, or visit a local oil mill to see traditions passed down through generations. Crushing basil, garlic, and pine nuts with a mortar and pestle, you'll smell aromas that instantly connect you to the land and its people. At number 8, we have Alassio and Laigueglia. Alassio's golden beaches stretch for over 3 kilometers, a rare, wide sweep of sand on a coastline better known for cliffs and pebbles. Just behind the shoreline is the Muretto di Alassio, a wall covered in brightly glazed tiles autographed by artists and celebrities. It's best enjoyed during an evening promenade with a scoop of gelato from one of the seafront gelaterias. A short walk or train ride south brings you to Laigueglia, a fishing village where small wooden boats still rest on the sand. Both towns are easy to reach by train and serve as affordable, less crowded alternatives to glitzier Riviera resorts, yet they keep their character with family-run trattorias and a relaxed pace. At number 7, we have Finale Ligure and Varigotti. The trails here reveal some of Liguria's most striking scenery: steep cliffs above the turquoise sea and historic stone paths, cutting through Mediterranean scrub. Finale Ligure in particular has built a reputation as a climbing hub, with routes drawing enthusiasts from around the world. I like to save this stretch for raw coastal views and, if the sea is calm, a quiet swim after the hike. Though it feels remote, the area connects perfectly to the next stop, where Liguria's historic heart comes into focus. As we continue uncovering these exceptional destinations, don't forget to hit subscribe and join our community of explorers getting practical travel guides. At number 6, we have Genoa's historic center, the largest in Liguria and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Walking the Caruggi, its maze of narrow alleys, you'll find trattorias spilling onto the cobblestones and fishmongers calling out their catch. The alleys eventually open onto Via Garibaldi, a street lined with Renaissance palaces, including the UNESCO-listed Palazzi dei Rolli, once homes of Genoa's mercantile elite and now museums filled with art and history. Genoa's identity runs even deeper at the port, where centuries of trade shaped its cosmopolitan character. I still remember discovering a tiny cafe in Boccadas, a former fishing village now part of the city, and starting my morning with focaccia warm from the oven. Simple, but unforgettable. At number 5, we have Camogli and San Fruttuoso Abbey. Camogli's harbor is lined with tall, colorful houses facing the sea, while fishing boats sway in the water. The town's maritime heritage shows everywhere, from the medieval Castello Dragone watching over the bay to bakeries serving warm focaccia. It's also a great place to sit down for a simple seafood lunch right by the waterfront and watch the rhythm of daily port life. From here, boats leave for San Fruttuoso, a secluded abbey hidden in the cliffs of the Portofino Park. You can only reach it by boat or on foot through a rugged trail, which makes arriving feel like a small adventure. The abbey dates back to the 10th century, and just offshore lies the underwater bronze statue known as Christ of the Abyss. At number 4, we have Portofino. The harbor is its centerpiece, where gleaming yachts rest alongside old fishing boats and pastel buildings rise behind them. Cafes edge the piazza, blending the sound of clinking glasses with the sea's rhythm. The beauty feels cinematic, though the prices often match the setting. Parking here is limited and costly, so it's far easier to arrive by ferry or by bus from Santa Margherita Ligure. Beyond the glamour, Portofino rewards slow steps. A short climb leads to Castello Brown, a 16th century fortress with broad views over the bay. Hiking into the Portofino Regional Park early in the morning offers shaded trails, quiet air, and even paths that end at hidden swimming coves. At number 3, we have Sestri Levante, a town set on a slender peninsula that creates 2 luminous bays. On one side lies the Bay of Silence, a crescent of calm water framed by pastel houses. Its peaceful setting has long inspired poets and writers. Visit in the early morning or late afternoon for quieter photos and to feel the bay at its most reflective. On the opposite shore is the Bay of Fables, livelier and open to the wider sea. Together, the 2 bays give Sestri its nickname, the City of 2 Seas. Staying here makes a perfect base to reach both Cinque Terre and Portofino while enjoying a quieter rhythm. At number 2, we have Cinque Terre. The Sentiero Azzurro, or Blue Trail, winds along the cliffs to connect Rio Maggiore, Manarola, Corniglia, Vernazza, and Monte Rosso. Walking it, you pass terraced vineyards and endless sea views, pausing for a meal in Vernazza or to watch the light shift over Manarola's colorful skyline. Access often requires the Cinque Terre card, which also covers train travel, since some trail sections close due to erosion or landslides. Trains and ferries link the villages, but it's smart to book ahead, especially in summer. To keep the experience calm, visit in May or September, or explore before 9:30 a.m., or after 4:30 p.m. when crowds thin. At number 1, we have Portovenere and Palmaria Island. Portovenere's cliffs rise above the sea, topped by the black and white striped Church of San Pietro, built dramatically on the rocky point. Nearby, Doria Castle still looks out over the Gulf of Poets. Across the water, Palmaria Island waits with loop trails through scrub and pines that open onto hidden coves and high lookouts with wide views back to the village. Both Portovenere and Palmaria are part of a UNESCO World Heritage Site. I find Portovenere's waterfront especially quiet at sunset. The harbor light feels almost cinematic. Visitors often arrive by boat from La Spezia or the Cinque Terre, using Portovenere as a less crowded base. Liguria isn't just a place. It's a journey through markets, hilltop villages, and coastlines that feel alive in different ways. From the trails high above Varigotti to the calm waters of Sestri Levante, each stop shared in this route adds another layer of culture, food, or landscape worth experiencing. For planning, remember a few essentials. Use trains and ferries instead of cars. Travel in the shoulder months for space to breathe, and choose one or two bases like La Spezia or Sestri Levante to avoid changing hotels every night. Which of these stops would you add to your itinerary, or which activity, pesto making, an early hike, a boat trip, are you most excited to try? Tell us in the comments, then start mapping your route and set aside time to test at least one local tradition on your trip. And don't forget to subscribe for more expert tips and discover the world's most exciting places to explore next.